Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for this training. This is going to be for the bank volunteers. We're going to go through check-in, check-out, and entering sales. The process changed a little bit this year. It's going to be a little bit more streamlined, hopefully. So let's get started. So when you take your seat at one of the computers, or if you are one of the iPad people, it'll look like this. Uh, for check-in, starting at around 5:15, 5:30, we'll click on check-in. We're going to ask the guest for their name. So usually the last name is the easiest. So we'll look at Smith. Go with, you ideally want to choose a household. So if it's somebody like Mr. Barry Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Barry Smith, instead of choosing Barry or Joni, choose the household and you'll see their bidder number. If they don't have a bid number, they're likely not attending. You probably have the wrong one. So in this case, we'll go with the household here. You can see all their information. We'll click on next. Go ahead and ask, is the other person attending with you? So in this case, is Mrs. Smith attending? If she is, check the box. If not, then uncheck the box. At this point in time, you'll see their information. This year, instead of having programs where we put the label on the program, we have these little cards, which I'm going to go over here. It's going to be a little tiny card about this size. And what you'll want to do is look at their information here. So their bid number is 609, their table number is 81, and you see their name. So in this case, you're going to put the name, so J. Smith for Joni Smith. They are 609 at table 81. So you would write with a pen 81 and their bid number 609, like that. And then you'll hand this card to them. And you can do that per individual. We'll have a ton of these cards available. So you'll be able to just hand them out to everyone who wants one. The programs will be on the table, so if anyone asks about a program, let them know that it will be on the tables when they sit down to eat. So then from here, we're going to click on next. If you can ask them if they'd like to pre-authorize a card for any bidding. If they do, then we would click on, we'd want to do it for the household. So we'd click on swipe card, make sure their zip code is correct, and then you would swipe the card. That would automatically fill this part in, and then we would just click finish, and they're checked in. On to entering sales. As bid sheets start coming in, we'll want to click on enter sales to enter those in the system. So we'll look at the bid sheet and we'll type in the package number, so 510 for example. We'll look at the purchaser. So in this case, it was Joni Smith at 609. We'd look at the final price on the bid sheet, say it's $25. Sale date stays the same, click add sale, and we're done. We'd move on to the next one. On to checkout. Most people won't need to check out, they'll just leave with their items and we will charge their pre-authorized card later. But if somebody wants to pay with cash or a check, we can do that as well in the checkout tab. So we'd come up here to the checkout tab, we would type in their bid number, so 609 for example for the Smith household. We could see what they purchased. If something that they purchased is not in yet, hasn't been entered in the system yet, then it will not show up here and we'll just have to let them know that, give us some time and we'll get everything in the system. If they have a card on file, it'll show up here. We can also add a card. And then we can see down here if they've purchased anything. So in this case, they have an outstanding balance of $168. So we could click on add a payment. We could choose the amount if they're paying with a specific amount, or we could just hit current amount. We could choose what it is. So if it's cash, check, basically cash or check. If it's a check, we'll want to type in the check number, and then we will check off what they are paying for. And then we click enter payment. And there we go. We can see they don't have a balance anymore. Everything is paid. And then we could say, would you like a receipt emailed? And we could email that receipt if they want it. Don't offer the printed receipt We're trying to move away from printed receipts, so unless somebody specifically asks for one, don't give that option. And then click done, and that's it. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you to everyone who volunteers.